Hello. The more a general is accustomed to placing heavy demands on his soldiers, the more he can depend on their response. Karl von Clausewitz. When we look at those who excel, it's so easy to brush their victories off as something that was just inherited, their physique, their looks, wealth, etc., a privilege beyond their control. What we often do not look at, though, is the standards that were placed upon them, the sense of responsibility they chose or were endowed with. As technology advances, the rate of innovation, the tasks which humans once held are quickly dissipating. Thus, life, even amongst our perpetual individual struggle, has become a haven in comparison to our cold, humble origins. Losing that deep sense of responsibility is a natural outcome, for our innovations have always come forward to mitigate that human element, innately taking responsibility off our hands. But nonetheless, we can still feel its call, an existential void haunting our present era, demanding from us a glint of that engagement we felt, fending and feasting off beasts with our tribe. We cannot deny the mechanics of our human condition, our biology forged through millennia of overcoming struggle. Simply put, our innovations have run faster and we have yet to catch up. This has placed upon us a very heavy weight, but when our eyes open to its nature, we are blessed with a great freedom all the same. We must take responsibility for ourselves, place demands upon ourselves, as painful as they may be, to look inwardly within and decide what we wish to take on, what weight we wish to hold. When you decide, something magical happens, something you may not have known you were capable of. The Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect is a phenomenon whereby higher expectations lead to an increase in performance. It has been proven that students given higher expectations perform at a higher level to meet those expectations with even their IQs, increasing to conquer the problem at hand. Feeling you can overcome a task, feeling you are capable of fulfilling a responsibility increases your capacity in overcoming that problem. It is a phenomenon science has not fully grasped yet, but it is consistent to our nature. There are many reasons as to why we do not wish to instill that sense of standard or responsibility upon ourselves, but it usually roots back to an avoidance of pain. You have to work harder, and the thought of working harder in and of itself can become a deterrent. You might fail, and the rejection of falling short, pursuing a grand endeavor, may smash your self-perception, which in turn evokes pain. A sense of responsibility, playing high standard upon oneself, it can be a scary thought for many, but what if we could hack the Pygmalion effect, whilst mitigate some of that possibility for pain? I'd like you to entertain a paradox with me, to put high expectations, standards upon oneself, but care little for the result. Would thinking such a way be so foolish? Bruce Lee, a goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. This belief structure does something magical, as it allows you to envelop yourself in a feeling of worthiness, which, in turn, via Pygmalion effect, increases your competency, mental and physical capacity to achieve, whilst mitigating the painful deterrent that is rejection. How could you be rejected if the result was not something to achieve, but simply a mark for you to aim at? The entire time, it wasn't about hitting the eye, but experiencing the process of playing with the bow the best you could. From there, it becomes about the journey, not the final sound music makes, but the dancing to all the waves in between. This is a paradox standing on the center line of yin and yang, but through a concept so irrational when grasped, we feel little more could be to the contrary. Responsibility, standard, aim, not for those things, but for the feelings evoked by its perception and process, effectively hacking the game altogether.